Hello, my name's Mark. I'm going to be showing you the very basics on how to beat match. I don't claim to be a professional or know everything about Traktor Pro, so I might make some mistakes, might say some things wrong, but basically I'm trying to get the message across to the newbies on how easy it is to mix. I taught myself to mix about 20 years ago on some Technics 1210s, which I've sadly sold, which I could kick myself for. And now I'm mixing on Traktor Pro and a controller. So you won't see me use the mouse to move the dials up and down like this. They will move on their own because I'm using them on my controller. I'm not going to run you through everything on Traktor Pro in this tutorial, just a couple of things for what you will need. I plan to do some more tutorials, getting a bit more technical, showing you what the other dials do and how to get your mixes sounding a little bit better. But for this edition, I'm just showing you how to beat count and beat mix, the very basics, only using two dials. Now obviously if I was to use the other dials, the mid, the low and the high, I can make it sound a lot smoother, but I'm just showing you how it can be done and how it is done. Now I will start by showing you what I've loaded and how I've loaded it into the one deck. I've loaded one track here into deck 1. Now this is deck 1, this is deck 2. The screen is separated down the middle by your virtual mixer, so to speak, and you've got your crossfader at the bottom. That will play this track, that will play this track. I always keep them in the middle and I use the volume controls here. Now the volume controls here control each side of the track, so when this slider is down you will not hear this track, only this one. When they're both at the top you will hear both tracks. When that one's down you will only hear track 2. Easy as that. Now I'm not going to be using the low, the mid and the high frequency to change the music to make it sound any better. I'm just going to play it as it is. Each track is counted in fours. 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4. Now this applies to all music. I'll show you what I mean. I'll just play it and count you the beats so you know what I'm talking about. 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4. That's it. Each track is exactly the same. I'll show you on track 2. 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4. That's it. All you've got to do when beat mixing is when the 1 falls, the 1 on the other track has to fall. So you will play the 1 track and hear 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4, and you have to have the 1 2 3 4 ready to run at the same time. Now this is what I'm going to show you. I'm going to play the first track and let it keep looping. I'm going to also loop the second track on the first 4 beats only. I'm going to use just the controllers here to mix from track 1 into track 2. That is all I'm going to do, just by using the 4. Now I am going to keep this looping on this stage just to show you that you have to count the 1 2 3 4 in time. You can get away with not counting it in time, but further on down the line your 2 tracks will break and you know everything will go wrong, so you need to get them 1 2 3 4 both in sync. Now on Traktor Pro I'm using the sync button for this purpose, to show you how they're in. So I'll play the first track, 1 2 3 4, and then I will get the second track ready and start the playing on the 1. 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4. Now you will see both tracks are hitting the first beat at the same time. Now this is what you have to do when beat mixing. Just count the 4s, drop them on the 1s and make sure everything just keeps going at the same time. Now I'm going to use the crossfaders to show you mixing from track 1 into track 2. Now you can see only track 1's playing at the moment and track 2 has got no sound. So we'll just move the faders up and the other one down. Now both tracks are playing. Now I'll move the first track out. Easy as that. Now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you how that works without looping the two tracks. I'm going to let track 1 play. I'm going to start it from here so you haven't got to wait for me to listen to all the song before you see me do anything. I'm going to keep this track looping on the 4 just for the purposes of the video, just show you that it has to be counted and how you will see the 1, 2, 3, 4 fall in time with the music. Now when I get to about here, I will start to bring the fader up on this track, which will mean bringing the sound in from this track. As this track 1 comes to an end, this fader will go down and this one will be at the top, thus completing the mix. Sounds all very easy, and it is. It just takes a lot of practice. If you're using decks, even more so than a computer program, because you have loop buttons and sync buttons, but it's the same principle whether you're mixing on CDJs, Technics, whatever. You just count the 4 beats, and it's all about timing, practice, and just take it from there. Like I said, we'll start the first track off and I'll mix it into the second track. And that's basically it. I've mixed from track 1 into track 2. That's all I'm going to show you in this tutorial. In the second one I'll go over that a little bit more, probably in a little bit more detail, showing you how to kind of bring the tracks closer together, and by using the low, the mid and the high, how to make that transition sound a little bit better. Hope you've learnt something, and maybe took something away from this that you can get your mixing off and going with.